Gotta find that spy. Maybe I should ask around.
Lieutenant?
I want to know my men better. Tell me a bit about yourself.
Oh, great. Show and tell. Yay.
What do you do when you're off duty?
Nothing special. See my folks, I guess. They ain't getting any younger, so... And I give most of my paycheck to them, because I'm the only one they got left. Sister died. And I ain't married, so... When I ain't with them, I'm at the bar. Drowning the shitstorm that my life's become. Not exactly a picture-perfect life, but it's mine. And hell, I get paid enough to help them out and buy my own drinks, so... What's there to complain about?
What do you think about Jeffrey Hunter?
He's a village idiot who thinks he can brown-nose his way to a promotion. Fucking reject. And no, he ain't my friend, if you haven't pieced that together.
I'm gonna leave you alone. Seems you'd rather be that way anyway.
Hey, Lieutenant. So nice to take a break, right? I wonder if I should go out for a walk. Need some fresh air. At your command, Lieutenant.
Have a second to talk?
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. Like, just you and me, or...
Yeah, just you and me. I'd like to know my men.
Wow, that's... yeah, that'd be a huge honor, Lieutenant.
How do you like Dave? You guys get along?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, he's not always the happiest guy in the world, but it's probably because he didn't have an easy life. He's always talking about how his life was nothing before 126 and joining the army, and that his family's all he's got. He's kind of bitter, but he's probably got a right to be. I always cheer him up, though, hoping he'll loosen up over time. At your...
So what's your life like when you're not on duty?
Tell you the truth, Lieutenant, not much to tell. I try to visit the city, make some friends, you know, because I don't really know too many folks yet. And my whole family's back in Greenhope, which is kind of too far to travel for my leave. And, oh yeah, there's also, you know, I try to still do some hunting. Though there's not much more than small critters in the underworks. Not a great hobby for the city.
You have a good childhood?
Oh yeah, you know it, Lieutenant. Really nice growing up, running around in the fields. Father gave me a crossbow, and I spent my time helping the farmers shoot critters hurting their crops. They were good times, Lieutenant, but everybody's got to grow up and move on. There was a lot of hunters in Greenhope, too. Plus, I always dreamed of being a soldier. Mostly, though, because there was a girl back home who loved men in uniform, so... Off I went to the big city to join up. And, you know, since I was a sharpshooter, they signed me up and sent me here. Still not used to it. All the buildings, all the folks, all the concrete. But I'm happy, though.
Colonel Ian Manser came by looking for you. Hope this isn't going to be a habit, Lieutenant. His problems aren't yours anymore. You're part of my unit now. We clear?
Of course. I'll go see him on my own time, not yours, Captain. Have a moment, Captain?
Depends what you need it for.
Just want to get to know you better, Captain.
I don't usually mix business and pleasure, Lieutenant, but... ask away and we'll see which questions I feel like answering.
You from Ophir?
Born and raised. Father was an officer. Mother was a quartermaster. And I've rarely ventured outside the walls but for a few scattered missions. Sound familiar, Lieutenant?
Very familiar, Captain. Except my parents weren't officers.
Which makes your rise even more noble, Lieutenant.
How was your rise to Captain earned?
Over time. But by no special action by me. Graduated as a corporal, and thanks to the brave men underneath me, their success in missions became mine in rank. No heroic feats to dazzle you with in stories. Just a lot of time and dedication that I'm proud of just the same.
What do you think of us?
Honestly, Lieutenant? I'm not quite sure yet. You Technomancers are new to me. Undoubtedly special, and capable of feats my other units couldn't dream of accomplishing, but... time will tell. That said, I've been quite impressed. I thought it was the definition of insanity to send you and so few of your men on some of those missions. Missions I would have anticipated needing 10 times the manpower for. So far, you've proven me wrong. A rare feat in itself. So even though it's taking some time getting used to, I couldn't be happier you're one of my troops.
Can I ask about your relationship with ASC?
Tread carefully, Lieutenant. One might start to wonder the purpose of your questions. But here's my answer. We're all forced to work with them, but it doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. Too much power too quickly leads to arrogance. They're brash and too quick to act. And quite frankly, as they've risen in power, it's no coincidence that the dissenters, deviants, and rebels have risen in numbers. And they're a great source of intel, however they get it. I sleep better at night not knowing the means. But I've always thought the army was strength enough, that the ASC was overkill. I trust you won't repeat anything I've said, Lieutenant. I'd hate for both of us to find ourselves enemies of the state over a little frank conversation.
My lips are sealed, Captain, and I appreciate your candor and trust, more than you know.
Lieutenant?
I want to know about your childhood.
You really want to know about my childhood? Sure, yeah, why not? My dad was never around. He was either on the front or doing drills. My mother, though, she was stationed here in Ophir. So we lived in a guard outpost in the slums where she worked. Never expected to make more of myself than become a soldier. I fought a lot as a kid. Had my share of girls. But home life was pretty strict, so I tried to toe the line. Mostly because when I fucked up, I never got off easy.
So when'd you join?
5 years ago. Time fucking flies, don't it? It was in 126. My parents were beaming with pride. Pride that's faded when, after all this time, I'm still just a fucking private.
How old are you?
The fuck does it matter to you? Older than you, though. And the rest you can find in my file. Cool, moving on.
Feels like a Green Hope souvenir stand. Kid must be missing home. Unless being messy's a crime, though. Doesn't look like he's doing anything wrong. Must have been Dave keeping tabs on me the whole time. Never would have believed it. I guess if you could spot him, though, they wouldn't be so damn...
Lieutenant?
I know you're a drinking man, so what do you say we go grab one together?
Looks like it's my lucky day. Sure, why the hell not? Lead the way. So why don't you cut the bull and tell me why we're really here?
Sure.
You've been spying on me, Dave. Been reporting everything back to Victor. I don't like rats. That's not all right with me.
Is it a surprise I have no loyalty to you? I don't like you, Lieutenant. Never did. I sure as hell wasn't gonna risk making Victor angry at me to save your ass. Hell, I was downright excited to tell him what I knew. Even some shit I didn't know and just felt like making up. And in return, they left me the hell alone. All I ever wanted. And worth every moment. If you don't like it, complain to the Colonel.
Dave, I'm sorry, but a rat's a rat, and there's only one way to make it any different.
At least let me die with a weapon in my hand.
Zucker?
I found the mole. David Ward was running lines for the ASC.
In these times, spies are everywhere. They used to be like rats, but now bear more resemblance to cockroaches. Should you see one, you can be certain 100 more reside in the walls, each placed there while their arms were twisted by the ASC. So what happened with this Ward?
He's dead.
As hard as it must have been to dispense of one of your own, no, it was for the best. A man's secrets die with him.